My mic was off. How's everyone doing? How's the weather? Hearing more and more and craziness about it. Hope everyone's staying safe. Hi, Alyssa. Right. Just cleaning up brushes. There we go. All right. Got a lot of paint going on here. So, last time, we made all these. Look at them all. They're beautiful. I need some red on that. I didn't put enough red on that. Oh, I missed one side. I'll fix that up. Great. And then we have a couple more to do right here on the corner. One hasn't been cut. I think, how many do I have to cut? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have to make an 8th. So I'll have to cut that later. But in general, pretty easy color scheme to pick up later. Grade that out. Good. I want them to be calming. And now that I got the chat up and working, so far it has not failed me. I'm happy. I mean, when you watch it on VOD, you can keep up with the chat. Because apparently YouTube doesn't want to do that on its own. We'll start with patching that, and then we'll move to starting these 3. And then whenever something is drying, we'll start cutting this up. Good starting point. You guys ready? Hey Lucas, how you doing? Alright. Yeah, it's really weird. They used to allow the chat to play on VODs. VODs. I should just say VODs. That's what all the kids are calling it. But they don't anymore. Super strange. Gray. Ash gray. Brickmaster. Yeah, that patched that up real quick. Grab some ash. Hopefully the blend Let's not ruin anything. There we go, that turned out really good. Nice little mask. Well, it's on by... Well, yeah, it is weird to be off by default. I have it set to be on by default. And it still doesn't pop up. But then I found out you can directly link the YouTube chat into OBS. So, ta-da! Or I should say, ta-da! A little wet. I keep dipping my finger in there. Meant to go record a podcast episode today, but it was pouring rain this morning, so I'll record it later. What, the podcast is at like 11 episodes? And they average at like 20 minutes each? What's the math? I'm thinking it's way too big. 20 times 11. Or, no, I am right. That's a couple hundred hours of listening to Carmichael. Hours. Minutes. 220 divided by 60. 220 divided by 60. Come on, guys. If chat can beat Siri, that'd be amazing. 220 divided by 60. It didn't give me the answer. It just gave me the equation. 3666. 3 hours and 40 minutes. That's 3 hours. That's 3 extra hours of Carmichael. That's pretty good. If you need more Carmichael in your life. And it just costs a minimum of $2. I think that's a good deal, guys. I don't know about you. I think it's a great deal. That's just me. I'm the receiving end of the $2. And then we have the first monthly live stream that's exclusive to backers happening this Saturday. Ooh, I got some stuff that I want to show off that's only available to backers. I'm super excited. Also, you get to be in the Discord. This is turning into a spot. Screw it, it's my content. Yeah, so you get a Discord, you get a podcast, you get private live streams once a month, and you get your name and credits for gaming episodes. Pretty good. Now you can back the channel via YouTube membership. My brain fried for a second. You can back the channel via YouTube membership if you'd like, or you can do it on Patreon. I know it's easier to do YouTube membership, that's why I have it there, because it's far easier. But I get to keep a larger percentage of your donations if you go to Patreon. Koyuki. Did I say that right? Koyuki? First time tuning in? Yay, welcome. First time tuning in, and you get to listen to me promote my own thing. Alright. That dark dungeon gray looks so good. Let's compare that to the black. Really, if you want to be minimal about it, all you really need is dungeon gray from Army Painter. Hey, Orange. Hey, Mark. Right. Also, you can be a freaking baller like Brickmaster who donates memberships on YouTube. And just throw off my expectations on what to expect from YouTube every month. How dare you be that kind? Oh, look at that. That's another reminder. Thank you, Brickmaster. You showed off some of the private emojis that are just for YouTube members. Guys. Big round of applause in the chat for Brickmaster, let's be honest. It was super kind of him. Post them in audio format? Oh, that's right. Because I have YouTube Premium, I don't even think about that. Mark, yeah, so YouTube Premium, I can just have it play in the background. I'm sorry, I totally didn't think about that. Yeah, that's called hair. Yes. I think find the right way to do it, because I can't upload to YouTube without a video. I'll find a way. I'll find a way. Might not happen, the solution might not happen for like maybe a week or so, but I'll work on it. I'll make sure it can happen. Now, there's got to be a solution. And it's easy for patrons because I can post RSS files or whatever and just audio files on Patreon. YouTube itself might be a little bit more difficult. I think the best thing to do is for audio only. Gotta find a platform that I'm able to have an unlisted playlist of essentially a podcast. So if like Spotify had an unlisted playlist option or a private one, ones that for people who only have the link, then that would be a solution. Yeah, those are drying. Well, that dry. Dang it, I touched the wash again. Soak up the wash with a paper towel. I'm tired of touching it. Do I have hair in my glasses? Something's like floating around the side of my face. And that's the ash gray on top of the dark gray. Floating hair hovering in front of you. What do? Kill it! The reliance of players and fear. Don't forget to drop a like on this stream so that way the VOD can get a little bit more love. And if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. A little obvious, but looks pretty good. Mostly because this side is destroyed. I do this. Right. Like it's all one piece. Am I gonna Mod Podge them? Yes. Oh, the bottom? Before I Mod Podge them, I will glue this piece of cardstock, craft board, cut board. I don't know what it's called anymore. And that makes it more grippy of a bottom subject. Oh my gosh, my brain. Sorry, guys. Bottom substance. And makes it less sticky to each other. I'll probably paint this black, and then I Mod Podge the thing. But I'm not Mod Podging before photo scans. Oh yeah, that reminds me. We haven't worked on the Khazad-dûm bridge at all for this. Ah, me. A whole nother piece I forgot existed. Just 12 inches by 1 inch. And slightly less than a full inch. So I'm going to just meet in the middle to balance out the length. How was the chair episode on the podcast? For those who have listened to it so far. Missed the question? I know, I stutter. How was the chair episode? For everyone who's keeping up on that podcast life. Walking in the rain for a half hour. commented on Patreon. Mark, you're amazing. Wait, Mark, does that mean you're a patron and a member? I was gifted the membership. But the bigger question is, are you going to keep the membership? No, I'm not going to put that influence on you. But are you going to raise your patronage? The answer can be no. It should be set as a standard that if it ever sounds like Greedy Carmichael is in the room, Greedy Carmichael is just a jester. He's just a troll. Oh, thank you for taking that in consideration when you made your choice, though. You do every side. Kind of slanted right here. That's fine. I'll have to pick up the kiddos. Oh, dude. No. Day camp is done for another day. For a second there, I thought you meant you were going camping. I was gonna be like jealous. I don't know if it's the right season or the right weather to go camping right now. But yeah, go pick up the kids. Go have a good day, man. The two ends are like an eighth of an inch or short or something like that. Unnoticeable. And Candace is snow camping. Dude, snow camping, I'm gonna be honest, as a kid, snow camping was a lot of fun. Make igloos and teepees out of sticks and snow. And you keep the center top open so you can have a little bonfire in the middle. Dig out a crevice so the cold air sinks down before it comes in. Ooh, dude. A lot of fun. And you don't need a lot of gear either. Surprisingly. Because eventually you're just going to warm yourself up by doing all the work. Hey, Sneeko. Keep saying Sneeko. I keep watching Abba and Preach content, and they keep talking about Sneeko. Sneaky. Get Sneeko out of my head. Watched Glass Onion yesterday. It was not as good as the first Knives Out. When it came to being like a murder mystery. But that aside, it's a really fun, thrilling movie. Full of laughs, good setups and payoffs. Good twists. I mean, it was a good movie. Just wasn't, you know, Knives Out. Will the backer stream be on YouTube? Yeah, I'm gonna just do essentially an unlisted YouTube stream and post a link to that on Patreon, YouTube community post just for members, and then also in the Discord. Oh, you know what I just realized? Have you thought of doing an exclusive Discord hangout for stretch goal? I should set up a stretch goal, because what I would like to do is... We used to do hangouts on the Discord when it was super young. We kind of in lockdown, more so. And we would just play like Jackbox on Discord. And that was kind of like a monthly thing. I don't think there was anything wrong with that. I thought that was really nice and cool. And then the players who couldn't play, they were able to vote as an audience. I could try to figure something out like that again. So the thing that I just realized about this 12-inch Casa Doom piece is this can't be printed as paper on your home printer because it's 12 inches. Most paper is like 10.5 by 8.5 inches. So if I want this to be printable for you guys, I would actually have to cut off the 2 short ends and just do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I just realized that. I guess that's what I'm going to do. And we'll deal with the triangles on a different episode, but that's a whole thing. Hang on. Hey, Sean. Just cut it in half? I could just cut it in half, but what I like about the Casa Doom piece is that I could two pieces, 10 inches apart, and you can't even see this. There we go. 10 inches apart, and that's what I like about it. How does one... Let's get some height on these guys. Is it stable with just one? Pretty stable. Yeah, this is what I want. You want that one single long bridge. But I would have to cut it down to 2 by 2. So it'd be just this big, which is not that bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it'd take 8 pieces to do that. Not a lot of creatures can make that run in one. They'd have to use the dash action or something. And just make people glue them together. I do have magnets. Do I really want to get magnets involved right now? These magnets would do. I haven't even tested on how to use magnets with this phone. killing me. Well, all right, let's just derail and experiment with magnets. That's not plugged in right now, so... Oh. Hey, Chance. That was cool. So, Chance, if you look at the chat, you'll see what Alyssa has now made me derail and experiment with. Oh yes, has made me. Forced my hand. Gunpoint. Gunpoint. AK-47 to the face. So, this should work. So what I'm doing... Let's get you in the right angle. There you go. So what you can expect to see right now is I have a magnet, just a simple magnet, pretty flat, like 3mm by 10mm, just sitting on top. And I'm just gonna send heat. Okay, it's magnetic. This should work. Just sending heat through the magnet. Okay, not working. Turn that off. Come on, you little sucker. There we go. I mean, that should have worked. Surprised it didn't. Alright, well, I see the outline. Just gently groove this through. Okay. And then I have carving tools to really get it just right. Okay. Best glue to use. Does super glue melt this? Find out. It's the point of this test. Super glue should not melt. No, it does not. It does a little. Did you see where I put the magnet? Am I crazy? Anyway. Okay. We'll see how this plays out. Super glue would absolutely work. Would it? No, it would heat it down. PVA glue is really the only thing that makes sense. But we have to do that to this side now. I'll try that heating trick again. Or I just do that. Haha, outlines. Sneaky with his logic. Okay. I'm just going to ask if you hit that like button, and if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, because I do this weekly. Sometimes multiple times a week. Blowing doesn't help super glue. Okay. Still wet. Whoops. Yeah, the super glue doesn't do crap, but now they're glued together. But yeah, the magnet technically would work. Ignore that. Okay. So people buying the Khazad-dûm Bridge. The logic being, I, for my own tiles, will use magnet somehow without ruining the phone. And customers would, and backers, would just glue them together. Yeah. Technically it does work. It's just super glue is not the right method for this. Super glue really damaged the phone. I guess let's test this out, because I'd like to see it work before I move on. Yep. I'll sniff glue guns. Oh, I don't know. North, facing down. We'll take north, face it down. Rub the PVA glue. So it functions also as a sealer. I'm afraid hot glue would melt the insulation. Yeah. So we just let this dry 5 miles away from each other. And we'll continue. It would actually be easier for me to cut the... Jeez, settle down. It'd actually be easier for me to cut this down to 5. I'm not gonna sit here and think about it. Instead, I'm gonna paint some tile. Am I missing a tab? There it is. Alright, let's get my green on. It would be magical if the stream got as many likes as it did views. That'd be so funny. I don't think any video on the internet has that. But since this is a live stream, I would imagine it could do it. I don't know what you're talking about. Nope, nope. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, so movies. Forgot to talk about this. So watching the Glass Onion. Afterwards, decided to put on Netflix original forget what it's called, but it's with Ryan Reynolds, time traveling, and it's like a great family action movie. Adam Project. Yeah, it's really good. You got Allie keeps calling it like the sequel to 13 going on 30 because Russell Brand and Jennifer Gardner play the parents, and they're the couple in 13 going on 30 for the rom-com. So if you watch 13 going on 30 and then watch the Adam Project, amazing world building. It's like what's the zombie World War II movie?
Oh,
I think it has a number in the title. Which one did we see though? It has the guy from Winchester. Overlord?
Yeah.
So it's the same kind of wacky cinematic world building as like if you go watch Overlord, watch Overlord, which is a World War II zombie movie. It is the prequel to Saving Private Ryan because at the end they have to do all this whole mission before D-Day. You can also try watching Paddington 1 and 2. Is there music in the back? Oh, I just can't hear it. Gundam 1 and or Gundam 2 and 3. Is there a live action or are you talking about like the old movies? Or are you just talking about Pacific Rim? Bro, this Walmart just has the worst Wi-Fi ever. Hopefully I'll catch more of the stream. Aw, that Walmart European McDonald's Wi-Fi. Hey, Wim Bravo. Oh, that's good to hear, Wim Bravo. Just needs the... That's pretty good. We got the colors on it. Now this just needs the ash gray blending coat. Let me do it all over again, guys. Did I figure out which chair to buy? Well, one Bravo, I talked heavily about this in the Carmichael podcast available for backers and for YouTube members and patrons. And I think I've settled on wood. Yeah. Treat it as a dining chair and a game chair primarily, while occasionally using it as an office chair. But they're pricey. So I just gotta feel that out. Pretty funny though, just seeing everyone's reaction, especially the Instagram poll. Like 80% people were like, plastic over wood. I'm like, the wood chair though can last so much longer. Super funny. Now, some of the funniest comments I see are on the YouTube shorts. The ones that really go far. Like, I think the most successful YouTube short on the channel is 2 ways to speed up combat. And the thumbnail is just my goofy ass face with the text AC equals initiative. Riggered people. I'm back. He's back, everybody. But yeah, some of the comments on there are super funny. They're triggered by the D&D mechanic that I offer, but they're also occasionally like, Carmichael from Corridor Digital? Or Harry Potter? And every time someone comments Harry Potter, I just respond with Expelliarmus. you'll get the occasional comment on like Instagram or something like, "Oh, I miss you and the content you used to make." Like, you mean the corridor vlogs? Well, you can come on over to Fables. If you're just missing the corridor vlogs, go rewatch them. Always interesting. So I'm not on that side of the fence for those videos and that audience experience from the that period of time. So my reaction to it is far different than what anyone else would. Cleansing great. Put in the pile. Put it at the top so it can dry. There we go. Free charge. All right, let's check in on that glue. Well, this one side is drier than the other. And I put them in the wrong way. There we go, fixed it. They're far from dry. That's a check-in on next stream kind of drying speed. Which is going to be Tuesday because Saturday's slot is for the backers stream. All right. Thought about cutting the bottom of the foam to insert the magnets? No, I have not put thought into that because this experiment is the first time I'm experimenting with magnets and this specific type of foam. So, if anything, this will be the seed of any magnet thoughts or trials moving forward. I believe Black Magic Craft and RP Archive have some videos of magnetizing dungeon tile. Our RP Archive has great videos about magnets, but he uses a completely different foam. And I know that Black Magic Craft uses XPS like this, but I'm not sure if he's done magnets in the foam. How's the music? Is that too loud? Loud enough? I mean, let me know because I'm just becoming aware of the volume. Does he? I thought he uses a different foam, no? It's a black type of foam, not the pink XPS. I could be wrong. Ooh, that was a lot. Shoot. There we go. Yeah, but I feel like XPF foam isn't typically, unless he's getting it from like a crafting store and not get from a hardware store. Because I feel like hardware stores always sell foam in the most common colors, like pink or blue. Because that's just what the easiest, fastest way to produce the foam is. Yeah, he does. He does have the same procs on. Which is super helpful. That was a big thing, a reason why I went to XPS, because EVA, though it's stiffer and a lot more like rigid to use, this stuff's way more malleable for creativity. but it also means it's easier to break. It's like choosing between iron and bronze, you know? You can make a sword with both. But it's a different journey. And since everyone online uses XPS, basically, I was like, oh, if I get stuck, I don't have to, you know, reinvent the wheel on how to do something. I can rely on tips and tricks from people that have already gone through it. I think Bardcraft uses a lot of XPS, but because he doesn't have a Proxon cutter, he just uses this giant chef's knife to always cut everything. There we go. A little bit more green on that. Oh, Adam's definitely got a bunch. Let that dry before I do the blending pass. Let me fix something technical. Tuesday? Just crash the stream. No, I did. Okay, cool. Woo! Now take that, copy, chat, properties, type in the code. Boom. There we go. Yeah, so green names are members. Tweak the font later. There we go. So yeah, I like having green font for members, and then the issue with white font for non-members is that your names fall a little too blank with the rest of the text. So switching it to orange helps. This font is wacky, so I'll fix that later. This is way easier to read. Okay, Khazad-dûm. Alyssa, are you still here? Use some tape for the test. Orange goes great for me. Oh, the Dutch. Dutch as in Dutchland? Or, yeah, Dutch. Because otherwise it'd be Deutsch. Because that's what Germans call themselves. Yeah. My brain farted. My uncle moved to the Dutch. Dutchland? Yeah, Dutchland. God, my brain. Netherlands. No, he did not move there. He moved to the north coast of Germany, which I thought was Dutchland. Alright. Melissa, whether you're here, watching now. Denmark, thank you. He moved to Denmark. Fuck my brain. Melissa, if you're here, whether VOD or not, let's do a magnet test. Nice little snap sound. That's a cool effect, guys. Dink. Dink. Well, it works. It's actually... That's hanging on pretty well. There we go. Gotta give it a proper flick to knock it off. Okay, I guess, you know, Khazad-dûm. But, okay. See what I'm thinking now? Gosh, guys. Are you having to mark which one of those will be magnet south and magnet north? Not yet, because I'm only doing tests. Literally just a test. but I will be marking north and south. So Kazaboom Bridge, it would be nice to magnet to each other. But I don't think that'll look good. Because now I'm entering a whole level of stuff that like RP Archive does. Where you start hiding magnets. And from my experience, hiding magnet is just a whole nother level of just more work, more time, more difficulty. And I want this to be simple. But the cool effect is that. No. But will the glue be strong enough? I don't know. It's still drying. I just put tape around it for now. That's satisfying. I mean, if I wanted to do a real Kazaboom Bridge, you know. And I can expect any customer who buys these would just chung, 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 make the biggest bridge, right? That's Kazadoom. Thin layer of paint. I know, but I don't. I'm trying, guys. I would rather test that on the Kazadoom Bridge. That fair? So, well, a big thing is, when these dry, I'll be able to paint over them and get a test of that. Glue is far from dry. So once the glue dries on these test pillars, then we could do some paint tests for that. I'll put these to the side. A million miles away. I feel like every stream you get ideas that is going to turn this series into a multi-year series. You're not the only one. That's why I want to at least just do the basics. So I can release the project. Which is why I'm totally satisfied of just like cutting this down to 10 inches. God damn it, Mark. Cutting this down to 10 inches. And just selling a 10-inch pillar or like bridge. I think that's more than efficient or sufficient, right? We still gotta do triangles. There we go. Put the blending coat on. The year is 4,376 and C-Mike is on part. Alright, I'm cutting this down. 10 inches. And that's what we get. Now I gotta draw cracks, guys. I don't know which side is up or down. Did you realize you could have just cut 2 blocks off one end? Actually no. So, these 2 end blocks were shorter by 1/8 of an inch. So now I have full inches. Looks like I've gotta go. Alright, man. Thanks for stopping by, Chance. Good seeing you on the stream. Recut planks. If you don't mind explaining to somebody that hasn't been here for a long. Yeah, sure. What are you planning on selling exactly? Products. Sorry. Recut blanks. Thank you, Sneaky. Based on the tiles. Yep. So these are going to be photo scanned. And then I'm going to turn them into PDFs that are printable either on paper or cardstock. And that way, and sell them for really cheap. So that way, you have an infinite supply of handmade looking dungeon tiles. And the set that I'm currently working on is classic gray dungeon. This one. Where, as you can see, we have a plethora of tiles to get through. That's ice, volcanic, which looks amazing, desert, which looks really good, and more. We got, which is not on the test, I want to do an astral tile set that can be used for whether or not your players are in the astral plane or Underdark. It's kind of like a double use case. And then the plan is to make some special tiles, as in like center room tiles that look different, like checkerboard, different colors. And then when you make a big room, you can have some pieces breaking up the tiles, making them look different. Releasing the OBJ? Potentially. I haven't given enough thought for that, because I've never made an OBJ before. But I do think it would be doable. Because I would just have to bring it into... They're essentially 1-inch objects, right? Rectangles and squares. And if I bring the photo scan in to Unreal, then you could technically 3D print it. You'd have to paint it yourself. Well, not necessarily, because... Well, if you 3D print it, you'd have to paint it yourself. It's doable. Definitely can be the next step after. depending on what you mean by photo scan. But if you use some of the... Oh yeah, that's true. There are... I forgot. Yeah, iPhones... I could photo scan with an iPhone and have a 3D object ready to go. We literally did that in a dungeon. Crazy. Make that a hole. There we go. If I was to photo scan these for 3D printing, I could just leave it up to the individual who's printing to hollow them out to save on their material. I don't have to worry about that. Oh, my green light died. Did it die? Yeah, it did. Had the light on still on the side of it. Confused me. A big chunk I'm pulling out. I think once I get the photo scanning process figured out, um, in general, whether it's 2D or 3D, once I got that figured out and I have the workflow set up, which this set, this set would help me do. So if the future tiles, it all smooths out. Hey, Sandman. And I think then I would be able to say whether or not it's like needs my entire focus or it can just be part of the workflow and happening in the background. Because I feel like once I get the workflow down, I only need to do like an episode on the stream showing it, and then I can just do it off camera. It does feel like I picked a side to be the top. It's interesting. There we go. Tweezers. Let me reread it. It's nice seeing you work when you first released Fables. I wasn't really into D&D, but will definitely give it a watch. Would you say it's something I could follow while working, or does it need full focus? Haha. It is something that you can watch while you're working. And then if you miss something that you feel like is important, you can rewind. There's a lot of not editing happening in Fables of Refuge. Because it's such a long campaign, I'm just like, keep most of it in. Also, there's a hot verbiage that likes to be used a lot, which is retention editing. Edit a video to maximize the retention of the audience. Conceptually, I understand it and I agree that it is an important thing to strive for if you pick the latter of the two things I'm about to say. First, you can either edit not trying to compete with the viewer's phone or work or homework or whatever they got going on in front of them, meaning you can be passive content, like a podcast could be, and in many ways like this stream. Or the latter, you compete with the audience's phone. You make sure that whatever they're doing, they have to put down and hyper focus on what you're giving them. In a lot of ways, Corridor likes to compete with the phone, which that means the retention editing is an important thing to their product. You have to focus on this. You have to captivate, maximize retention. And to be fair, maximizing retention of a video means higher income value for that video. It's an important thing. There is another way to maximize retention. It is not as viral, though, which is not competing with the phone. And you make passive content, which I kind of prefer, especially as a solo guy. If you watch not Fables of Refuge, if you watch Fables of Nostromo or Furhaven or even Egypt's Fire, though they're essentially like 4-part one-shots that are on the channel, they are edited to compete with your phone. Those one-shots, I put a lot of work into practice, like hyper-focus editing on that. With the occasional just sit back and listen, but yeah. Murphy, you're amazing. Has anyone ever told you that, Murphy? 100%. The effort you would need to put in for a full series is insane for a team, let alone solo. Yeah, like when we do Son of a Dungeon on Corridor's website, that's competing with your phone. That's 8 episodes. The raw footage is like 2 to 3 hours each episode, edited down to be like 40 to 50 minutes. That is competing with your phone. Whereas like the new season of Fables of Refuge, which I'm in post-production right now by myself, you know, raw footage is like 3 hours. Final edit, it's like 250, 240. So like I'm cutting out like 10, 20 minutes of just something as I'm listening and editing distracts me and has nothing to do with the story. I cut it out. Or if it's a nice banter piece that is distracting, has nothing to do with the story, but I find it entertaining, I keep it in. But you can't do that on Sode, because Sode is meant to compete with the phone. And it's also, you know, the gameplay style. Fables of Refuge, we're playing very casualty. We're playing very casual. And I think it's kind of a DM style for like Jarrett. He likes a casual game. But if you like go to my Alien game where I DM, I like to keep the wheels spinning and moving and moving and moving. Whether it's subjectively slow or fast doesn't matter. I just like to keep it moving and treat it like stuff is happening. I still think it can be passive, depending on the edit. But yeah, you nailed it on the head. Just doing a long full series, you know, 30 plus episodes, solo, the value there is not the cinematic editing. The value is the storytelling at the table. And at best, the editing is there just to keep the audience not too distracted. Can't see what I'm doing. Yeah, so there's some like cheats that I'm working on moving forward. Is like doing a lot of the sound design live at the table. Um, that's not going to be a thing in Fables of Refuge Season 3 because I'm still tinkering and making it work. But the next game that I DM, I'm 100% just going to do sound design and music all live at the table. Cool, this is a pretty cool looking bridge, guys. And it's 10 inches, which means it fits on a piece of paper. I even want to work on doing special sound effects, and I talk about this a little bit more in depth on the podcast that's exclusive for backers. I want to also be able to do like action sound effects, sword swinging monsters and stuff, all live. And even attempt to get a voice changer for me as the DM for those like really monstrous voices. While at the same time practice being better at doing voices. While working, and there was definitely sections that stopped me in my tracks because of the focus needed to match the intensity of the moment. I loved it though. Perfect. Main issue with only listening is I do miss out on the effort put into tabletop stuff. Yeah, that is true. And we do lean with the minis, and I do try to make sure we practice better verbiage where we try to say I move to this pillar over to the left versus I move here, you know, using our proper nouns and verbs can help pull on listeners. But when you have the minis out, it is almost like default how our brain works. I move this thing here because I assume that because I can see me moving it, you can see me moving it too. And it's just a thing our brains do. So whenever we can do stuff theater of the mind, our vocabulary changes to something that's more listener friendly. Good example. Dungeons and Daddies. They don't use minis at all. So they have to just rely on their verbal, narrative, descriptive skills. Which then is not limited by the minis that are on the table. And it's just a completely different playstyle. And then, you know, there are people like you, Murphy, who say we're doing a great job. So, fuck. Then I won't change. I'll just keep doing the same thing. Murphy coming in here with all the kindness in the world. You know how to be as nice as Murphy? You could hit the like button for this video and stream, and you could hit the subscribe button, and make sure you hit notify all rather than personalized, so that way whenever a stream happens, you definitely get notified. Thanks, Murphy. You know what I realized I didn't do before priming? I didn't roll and beat this up. This is like perfectly normal. I skipped the step. Bulldozer, you get to go ahead and thank Murphy for that. Alright, now let's beat this thing up. See if you can see the difference. There it is. There we go. Now it's getting ready for priming. There we go. Such a silly goose. Once I wrap this up on the pillar, I'm gonna pretty much come to an end here so I can go eat. Because as always, guys, I'm starving. And then next stream, not this Saturday, which is the backer only stream, Tuesday, on that stream, we'll finish up painting this guy, Khazad-dûm Bridge. And we'll go over these triangles. And we'll talk about why these are extremely difficult to do what I want to do with. Like, next level hard. This is another reason why I was like so worried to like dive super deep into magnets again. Was like, I still need to get these guys done. And these are going to take a few streams to get done. But I'll talk about why on Tuesday. Hey, Carmichael, did you know you're the nicest guy? I do now. But once we finish those triangles, once we finish this Khazad-dûm Bridge, photo scanning for the classic gray dungeon tiles will begin. And we'll move on to one of these three terrains. Same amount of pieces. So it's like, on average, what we're looking at is like 10 episodes, a tile terrain. But I will toss out a poll to feel out which one you guys want me to work on next. Do you guys want to work on ice, desert, volcanic? And that'll be up to you guys on sometime next week. Oh, pop, 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 pop. Oh, yeah. So yeah, that's what we can expect. Oh my thing. Nope. There we go. Ah. So yeah, keep an eye out for that poll. Make sure you're subscribed so that way on Tuesday you get notified when we come on to finish up that Khazad-dûm bridge and deep dive in the triangle tiles. I'm looking forward to them, but at the same time, I'm super nervous because I don't want to mess up on any of them. Because having to start over on a single triangle piece is like 10 minutes of work. Did I help did I help Sam in writing any of the campaign of Sode, or is it all Sam? Season 1 was all Sam. Season 2 was a combination of me and Sam. It started with coming over on like sometime around Christmas of the year prior of the release, and us going over his first drafts of what he thinks the maps will look like and why he thinks those maps are the way he wants the story to go. And then from there, him and I had two major creative writing meetings that lasted a few hours each, plus late night texts, middle of the day texts, and just random chatting by the water cooler about ideas. And then while playing the game, before a session, between lunch, him and I would talk about what's going in, what we're thinking, what things did he choose to use, what things he did not choose to use. Because at the end of the day, he's, it's like a coach talking to the captain of the football team. Once they go out to the field, it's up to the coach. It's not up to the coach, it's up to the captain. But yeah, him and I really worked on it a lot. But it's at the end of the day, because he's the dungeon master, he's got to make the call. And then typically around the end of a session, I would be texting him throughout the session endlessly because he has the iPad up, and I would just come up as a notification, and I would just time my texts carefully so I don't just like flood his phone or iPad. And then near the end of a session, I would text him where I think a good cliffhanger could be. Based off my experience sitting back and watching it uncut and really trying to feel out the pacing and the rhythm that him and the players are going, I'll toss out an idea. For example, like, he didn't know how to end the elevators bit. He was going there and he's like, it didn't feel cohesive, or like watching it, I was like, he's really winging it and he's trying to figure out where to end this. And I just texted him, have the worm come by and cut that wire. And then they go into free fall. And then as they get onto the elevator, he sees that text and he starts brewing a narration, and he starts describing and leading up to that landing of the ride. So it's very much like a co-DM experience for him. Did you check into one of the those saddle seat height adjusting stools for workbench? I mean, I got one. Let's see. Here we go. It's gonna be hard for you guys to see it. All these things are grabbing the focus, which I think is hilarious. So. Oh wow, my hand is super black. See, I got a stool. My feet are dangling. I have a stool. The problem is, this is not a table. This is a bench. There's cabinets underneath. So, if I zoom out, check this out. Like, this is as far as my legs can go. Otherwise, I have to sit like this and turn my back like this the whole time. It's sometimes comfortable, sometimes not. That was the wrong button. There we go. Different framing for this shot. So during a session, was it a full 8-hour filming? Or was it an episode-based film days? So we would shoot 2 episodes in a single day. You'd shoot for 2 to 3 hours in the morning. When lunch showed up, Sam and I gotta find a hook. We end the episode, go have lunch, come back, do another 2 to 3 hours. And if we need to take a 5-minute break, super quick, we can take a 5-minute break. It's fine. But it's pretty much nonstop. It just goes for 2-3 hours straight. That's why the power outage that happened was devastating. And Fables don't do you think you'd ever do another Alien series? It was by far my favorite thus far. Well, I talk about that in the exclusive podcast. And I'd hate to be that kind of a creator that spills beans from exclusive content onto public content. And I'd hate to be the guy who hooks you that way too. But I gotta be that guy. A saddle seat. I gotta look it up. Where's my phone? Saddle seat stool. Saddle seat. I gotta be careful with how much stuff I buy, guys. I don't have a lot of space. Checked. Yeah. Oh! Yeah, not for this spot. This spot, having a swivel is very clutch. Are you thinking for the game, though? Because I think for the game, I would prefer... This is why the whole conversation about a wooden chair is so important. I like having a full back with lumbar support. But I don't like leaning back, 45-degree angle like I am now. I wonder if I could adjust that. I like having like a 10-degree lean back. So a full back wooden chair is nice. And then arm rests. The number one thing I want for D&D is arm rests. It is such an important tool. Like, otherwise, check this out. I can't sit this way because bench. Otherwise, if I don't have an armrest, I either sit back like this and the lighting gets dimmer, I get further away from the mic, or I lean forward and I get even closer to the mic and I get brighter because I'm closer to the source of light. And more importantly, I can do this and hide my mouth, really ruin the audio that kind of way. But an armrest, I can just sit there. Yeah, lean back, but it's 10 degrees, so it's not further away from the light like this. And I can just rest my arms there. And as a dungeon master, something I really love is the ability to grab, lean on it, pick myself up on it, Like, the armrests become an extension of the table in my performance as a dungeon master. Any way to commission from corridor and adjustable workbench? No. The sad no. Just sitting ergonomics is all. Yeah. If you want backing and armrests, the stool is not an option. Yeah. Sound stool, you can put your knees up. My knees are up. They're right here. You can't see them. They're right here. So see Mike as a D&D podcast content creator. Any D&D series you'd suggest checking out. Don't know why I had a stutter right there. D&D listens are a great way to help my workday go by faster. I agree. Alright, I'm going to list off some D&D shows, and I'm going to call the stream there. Alright, guys? Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Starting with the free ones. Critical Role. I wouldn't say I'm a critter, like a super fan, but I enjoy it for that very reason. I love like listening to it in the background, and by campaign 3, because each campaign for them takes like 2 years, so they're like 6 years into the show. They're really good. They're really good at just being like good sounding ASMR. Dungeon Daddies with Freddie W, Matt, and Beth, Andy. Yeah, I think that's the cast. Occasionally Jimmy. There are some other free ones, but I haven't listened to them enough. One that's not a D&D one, it's called a Cthulhu. Super low budget, just a group of friends up in Canada that do this. And I stumbled onto the show a while ago, and they like get together like once a month and bust out like 8 episodes. And each episode's like an hour long. So they play for like a straight 8 hours, and that's a few weeks of content. They're on Spotify and YouTube. Let's see. They were so mind blown that I knew what their little show was, and I was like, "Yeah, guys, you're killing it." It's called The Call, a Call of Cthulhu. Can I pop up the full title? The Call, a Call of Cthulhu playcast. Dude, I'm so behind on this. They are currently on season 3, episode 43. Holy crap. I'm 20 episodes behind. Because it started out as essentially their season 1 was basically just a one-shot. But it's super good. And their editor, who's one of their players, goes through, does, minimal editing, but good editing. Adds sound design, some music, sound effects. So it's a treat to listen to. So I got Dungeons and Daddies, Critical Role, and The Call. Who else is on my list? There's a bunch of people, but who's on my list? Very few recommendations. A few friends do Venture Forth, which they hyper focus on the storytelling aspect. So they're doing voices, they're focusing on role play. And their head editor is a composer, so he's doing custom music throughout the entire piece, every episode, which is crazy. What's the name of the Cthulhu channel? Oh, the channel on YouTube is different. That's my biggest critique for them. On YouTube, The Call, Cthulhu Podcast. The channel name is Twisted Gears Studios. Let's see. See if I can get that. Twisted Gear Studios. And now I'm out of focus again. And then now the not free D&D shows. The only D&D show that I pay to watch, well, there's two of them. One I don't pay for anymore, but it's also Allie's favorite, is Harming Quest. They play in front of a live audience and then edit it down and do full-on animation. Like it's a straight-up TV show. And then they have like celebrity guests, like every episode. And it's like D&D second edition that they're playing, where the DM is rolling all the dice. I don't watch them anymore because it takes so long for a season to come out. And the only reason I was paying for their platform was for that show. Then there is College Humor's Dimension 20. Amazing. And I love listening to it. That one's harder to be like background. Brennan, their main DM, likes to have things move like a bullet train. And everyone's a professional improviser. Like, that's what they get paid for. They get paid to write skits for television, for sketches, and then they do live performance. That's what they're normally paid to do, and they're doing a D&D show. So that's a good one to watch too. Dimension 20 does have a YouTube channel. I think their entire first season is available, Fantasy High, and then like the first episode of every other season is also available. So you could binge a lot of their content without having to pay, and then if you want to watch the rest of their episodes, you gotta pay for Dropout. Oh, there's also Adventure Zone, the original D&D podcast. Like, it came out when 5e dropped. I think Adventure Zone started before Critical Role. So that was back in 2014. If you like radio dramas, you'll love The Call. Because there's no combat. The whole point is to survive. It's a horror game. And you slowly lose your mind. Alright guys. I'm snacking. I gotta go eat real food. Go listen to some of these shows. Come back on Tuesday and tell me what you think about them. Or comment below on this stream to tell me what you think about them, because, to be honest, comments go a long way in helping the channel and helping the videos grow. It shows the system that you like it, that you're engaging with it. The more characters, the better, as long as they're real words and real sentences, because AIs are smart now. See what happens, I have to spin this way. And now my back is to you. Alright guys, have a great rest of the week. And backers, YouTube members, and patrons, I'll see you on Saturday for the exclusive live stream. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Time.